Now, as we mentioned earlier, we can also automatically slave the Shkval to one of our target points that we stored in the PVI 800. To do so, I'll go ahead and put the PVI in target point mode, and then select the target point I want to take a look at. In this case, I'll go with number 1. And now, up on the ABRIS, I have a flashing blue square with a 1 in the middle, indicating that I have target point 1 loaded up. I can now hit the uncage button, and the Shkval automatically slews to that point. In the same way, I go ahead and select target point 2, hit uncage. Now I'm at the second point. I'll go ahead and go back, set the PVI to waypoint mode again. Now, the other mode we talked about moving around the Shkval is the helmet mounted display. I'll go ahead and activate it with the switch here. And in doing so, I now have a monocle over my right eye with a reticle of concentric circles in the center. As long as I'm within 35 degrees off the nose, it's solid, but once I move outside 35 degrees, it starts to flash. Now, what we can do here is I can put my cursor over a target area, hit the uncage button, and the Shkval automatically goes to that location. I'm going to do it back the other way. It's got a striker here at 3.3 kilometers. Now, with that target locked up, I can go ahead and initiate an automatic turn to that target to point my nose right at it. And we can do that with the button down here. So I'm going to press it, and now my aircraft is automatically turning to that target. Now, other functions down this panel include the ground moving target mode. So if this target starts to move, I'll have better accuracy gauging that with anti-tank missiles. I can also put in this mode to engage better targets, air targets that are moving at me at high aspect. And this button here will allow me to better engage air targets regardless of the aspect. Another feature of the helmet mounted sight, it will give us an indication of when we have a valid launch parameter. So in this case, I'll go ahead and select anti-tank missile. And we now have a cursor here for the anti-tank missile, and we have the small cursor for the Shkval. When I superimpose the two on top of each other, the HMS now turns to a standard cross, which indicates a valid launch parameter. And I'll go ahead and turn the HMS off. Now, in rainy conditions, we also have a wiper for the Shkval, and that can be activated with the switch over here. Press that, and we see the little windshield wiper going up and down. And coming back. So there's a little overview of using the Shkval and the helmet mounted sight tied to the PVI. As I close this note up, we'll talk about a couple little navigation features. The first is that in addition to the automatic route mode that we talked about in the last note, we also have the ability to do an automatic descent mode. by simply holding the descent button down, we can descend the helicopter at a safe rate that will also avoid vortex sharing. And you see an example of that now. And then the final thing we'll take a look at are what's called the flight directors. And we'll initiate that with the button here. And when we do that, we now have these flight indicators up on the HUD, one here and one here. And these give us elevation and bank angle directors to reach the next waypoint. There's a horizontal component and a vertical component. When the vertical component is pointing up, it means you need to fly up. And when it's pointing down, you need to fly down, lose altitude. And depending on the bank angle, that indicates the bank angle you need to fly the aircraft at to turn to the desired waypoint. So go ahead and select a waypoint to fly to. We'll initiate route mode. Get some speed on the helicopter. Okay, now it's telling us to bank to the right. Right up at the altitude we need to. I'll go ahead and increase my altitude. And as you can see, now it's telling me to fly down. And in this way, you can navigate the helicopter using these automatic commands without giving full control over to the autopilot to fly the aircraft. So, I hope you enjoyed this note, and I will talk to you next time.